You're listening to the 6 Minutes English Podcast, short and simple lessons in just 6 minutes.
Support us by hitting like and subscribing, so you never miss a new episode.
Excuse me, sorry to bother you. I was just in the changing room trying on this sweater. It's a really lovely design. I love the color.
No problem at all. Glad you like it. Is everything okay with the fit?
Well, that's the thing. I picked up what I thought was my usual size, a medium, but when I put it on, it feels a bit snug around the shoulders and arms. It's not uncomfortable, exactly, but I prefer my sweaters to be a little looser, you know? More relaxed. I understand completely. Sometimes the sizing can vary quite a bit between brands, or even styles within the same brand. We call it vanity sizing. Sometimes, where a size that used to be a medium is now a small, or vice versa, to make people feel better about buying clothes. Right, that makes sense. So, do you happen to have this one in a large? I think that might give me the fit I'm looking for.
Let me just check for you. Which style number is it? Or the name?
It's the cozy knit crewneck in the forest green. The tag says model 305B.
Okay. Cozy knit crewneck, forest green, 305B. Got it. I'll be right back. I'll check the stockroom for a large.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Returns after a couple of minutes. Good news. I found one large in the back. Here you go. Feel free to try it on in the changing room again.
Oh, fantastic. That was quick. I'll just pop back in. Thanks again. Emerges from the changing room a few minutes later, holding both sweaters. Okay, so the large is definitely better in terms of the shoulder width and arm length. It feels much more comfortable, not tight at all. But now I'm wondering if it's maybe a little too big.
Let me see. Observes person 1. It does have a more relaxed drape, which is what you said you preferred. It doesn't look overly baggy on you, I think. But ultimately, it's about how you feel in it.
You're right. It's just, on second thought, maybe the medium wasn't so bad after all. It was just snug, not restrictive. And sometimes sweaters stretch out a little after a few wears, don't they? They definitely can, especially if it's a natural fiber blend. Sometimes that initial snugness can settle into a perfect fit. It's a common dilemma. By the way, that phrase you just used, on second thought, that's a really useful one. Oh, really? I use it without really thinking. What does it imply exactly? It means you've reconsidered something you just said or decided. So, you might say, let's go to the park, but on second thought, maybe it's too cold today. Or in your case, you were leaning towards the large, but then you, on second thought, decided to reconsider the medium. It's great for when you change your mind immediately after expressing an initial preference. It's very natural to use when you're thinking out loud or weighing options. That's super helpful. I always try to pick up on these little nuances. Like earlier, when I asked, do you happen to have this one in a large? Do you happen to have, also a common phrase? It just felt more polite than, do you have?
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Do you happen to have is a fantastic phrase to use when you're asking for something specific, especially if you're not sure if the other person will have it, or if it might be a bit of an inconvenience for them to get it. It softens the request significantly. Instead of a direct, do you have X? Which can sometimes sound a bit demanding, do you happen to have X? Implies you understand it might not be readily available, or that they might need to go out of their way, making it much more polite and less presumptive. It shows consideration.
That's a great explanation. It really helps to understand the feeling behind the words. And what about, it's a bit snug? Is that quite common too? Yes, snug is very common. When talking about clothes, Snug means it's tight-fitting, but usually in a way that isn't necessarily uncomfortable, just close to the body. It's a softer way of saying tight or small. If something is a bit snug, it means it's a little tight. You might hear, it's a snug fit, meaning it's meant to be close-fitting. It's a really good word to describe how clothes feel when they're not quite loose enough without saying they're outright too small. For example, your medium sweater was a bit snug around the shoulders, meaning it was a little tighter than you'd prefer, but not so small you couldn't get it on. Wow, thank you so much for explaining all that. That's genuinely helpful for my English practice. It's like a mini language lesson while shopping.
You're very welcome. I love helping customers find the right fit, and if I can help with a little language advice along the way, even better. So, back to the sweaters. Are you leaning towards the medium again, or still thinking about the large?
I think, given that sweaters can stretch and I really like the overall shape of the medium, I might actually stick with the medium. Or, actually, no, on second thought, I think I'll go with the large. It's easier to wear something a little big than something too small. That's a very practical decision. And you can always layer things underneath the large more easily too. Exactly. Plus, I don't want to regret it later if it shrinks a tiny bit in the wash. So, the large it is. Thanks for your patience and all your help.
My pleasure. I'll take the medium back to the rack for you. Are you ready to head to the till then, or would you like to look at anything else?
No, I think I'm good for today. Just the large sweater.
All right, perfect. The till is just over here.
Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.